show that tackles the big issues affecting the BVI and the rest of the Caribbean. Searches for answers to today's big questions and gives viewers a unique perspective on developing stories. Follow the big story with me, Kathy Richards, only on GTV. This show is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Cyril B. Ramney Tertola Pier Park, NV Salon Spa Nail and Barbershop, HOV Medical, and Digicel. Sign up for Digicel Plus Home Light Bundles, faster internet, movies, and sports. This is The Big Story. I'm Kathy Richards. I want to thank you so much for joining us for this edition. I hope your weekend was great. Mine was, I would say great too. In studio today with me is Miss Rhonda Victor Pinnock, who is the Mrs. BVI for 2024 going into 2025. And before I even, allow her to say good morning to you, I want to say that I love what I see with this platform of the Mrs. Continuity. You talk about a platform and you can bet assured that throughout the years and beyond, they are sticking to it and doing so much. And that's the reason you're here with me today. Rhonda, how have you been?
Yes, Kathy, lovely good morning, BVI, greetings, lovely good morning. I have been well, I have been well. The Almighty has been great to me, great to my family, and great to the BVI, so all is well.
Awesome, I love that so much. Well, we're going to start from the middle and then go to the beginning. Over the weekend there, I passed by where you had a session going on, a self-defense session, and more than anything, I was taken away by how many women were out there for this special session. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, so let me go back a little bit, Kathy. So my platform is domestic violence / gender-based violence. Now, gender-based violence is an initiative that is powered by Unite BVI along with other non-profit organizations like the Lions Club, the Rotaries Club, Girls Up, the male and female groups. Yes. So it's an entire collaboration where we try to curb the negative effects that gender-based violence or domestic violence has on our community here in the BVI. Now, this is something that has been swept under the rug for many, many years. So being a domestic violence survivor myself, I was not cognizant that this thing is happening until I was able to overcome this and be a survivor, and now tell my story of how I was able to overcome my abuser, the abusive situation that I was once in. So now with this platform of gender-based violence powered by Unite BVI and those other non-profit organizations, I also hope and pledge that we work together to bring a light and shed light on this issue that is affecting us. So as you said, over the weekend, we had a wonderful time at Boys Taekwondo Studio, where we had a women's self-defense class. And just as you said, I too was quite surprised by the turnout of women that we have, women of various background, various stature. It was an amazing time.
Not just grown women, mature women, but also young girls.
Ladies.
You had so many teenage girls there. And, it lends to the fact that, we should not take anything for granted. Yes, you may say, okay, yes, I'm a victim of this and now I'm a woman, but there might not be so many other women. And you look at people and you cannot tell by
definitely.
a face value that, they have concerns or they are being abused in some way.
Definitely.
Some of the programs that you are endeavoring to do, or I should say started, because that was one. Give us a little more insight as to what else that you have going on.
Now, with gender-based violence, it affects men, women, boys, girls, the entire family, which spills over into affecting our community and the world eventually. So we have several programs or outreaches that will cater to young adults, cater to older women, older men, community on a whole, entire families. Such programs include visiting adult and youth groups to speak about the impact that gender-based violence has on the family, has on the individual. We have programs where we'll be bringing in the community. No island will be left untouched. We will be visiting each island and spreading this information, spreading light, letting women and men know that it's okay to speak up, and letting them know that whatever has been said about men not being able to hit women and women not being to hit men, or boys and girls and vice versa, that this thing is serious and it should be taken seriously. And we have programs such as a march. We're going to have a march coming up where we're going to have the community involvement. Again, we'll be targeting the schools where we have the young people, because certain behaviors are taught. Because they witness, young people, they witness certain behaviors even as young as they are born. So they witness certain behaviors and they think it's a norm. They have it as a norm, and these are things that they grow up practicing in the community. They go to school, they practice it, and everybody just accepts it as being a norm when indeed it is not.
Oh, yeah.
So the schools will be targeted from preschool up to the high schools, up to the college. We'll be having several challenges or several, what should I say, entertainment, where we have the media involved. We'll be using TikTok, Facebook to promote this message. We'll be using the various dance groups across the BVI. We'll be doing challenges to bring awareness to this platform. So we'll also be having a large production at the end of my reign, which will be in December. So from July, I begun in July all the way until the end of December, we'll be having programs each month to raise awareness to gender-based violence. And I cannot do it alone. Again, we need everybody involved. The first big activity we had was that, as you say, the self-defense class. Men, you are not left out. Yes, men need ways to defend themselves too. Yes. Because again, it affects men and women. And sometimes men think they have to sit back and take whatever is being dished out to them. No, it's the same as women do not have to stand back and take whatever is dished out to them. So we have some positive ways, some good ways that men can also defend themselves without resorting to extreme violence.
Any type of violence.
Yes,
be
that
extreme, milder.
That is true. Yeah. So men, you are not left out. Again, children, young people, everybody will be involved in this initiative. So BVI community, I need you, we need you to build a better and stronger future. Yes.
Yeah. Rhonda, you thought for any moment, you know, looking back at your years of your situation and where you were, you ever thought that one day you would have been like here, sitting on a platform and talking about this so candidly, getting up on a stage, talking so candidly about what your experience was and how you can help others? You ever thought that you would have done it?
Kathy, you give me goosebumps. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because with domestic violence, it is quite shameful. It is shameful at the time you're going through it. You hide the situation from your parents, from your loved ones, because you are trying to put on this specific stature. You're trying to live up to this name, trying to live up.
Shame.
Yes,
it's
to live
shame.
up to person's expectations. And you, again, you're going through this thing and you don't know that you're going through it. So now having the opportunity, some persons don't ever get the opportunity to share their stories, but thankfully I am blessed to do so. And I'm going to run with this mantle to the ends of the world and spread my story, create awareness, and let women know it doesn't matter who you are. As you said earlier, violence has no respect of face, of your name, of your whatever status. It has no respect for that. So we are only empowered, or we are only overcomers when we're able to share our story. Let persons know that we need help, because we're so locked in this box, we don't even know what's going on outside of the box. But when you're out, Catty, you run with that torch.
Yes.
You run with that torch and you light the world.
Yes. Since you started to speak up and speak out, are you surprised at the response and like persons like clutching on, here, Rhonda, you know, I've been here, I am here. If it had not been for you talking, I would not have been able to do X, Y, and Z. Have you encountered those?
Definitely, Kathy, definitely. And it, I would say, amuses me at the type of women, as I said earlier, it's no respecter of status that has come to me and said, thank you for sharing your story. It has inspired me, or I was able to share your story with a friend who has inspired them to get better with whatever situations that they are going through. And I am honored to be that ambassador and be that inspiration for women who have been plagued, whose lives have been plagued with such violence.
Now, before we close off, you spoke about having a focus on men as well.
Yes.
Very often we hear, oh, everything's for women and girls, nothing for men. But men experiencing violence in the home is something that is seen as, it's so stigmatized.
Yes.
In many instances, men are afraid or ashamed. They're really not afraid, but they're more ashamed to go up and say, listen, this is happening to me.
Yes.
I don't want to retaliate in this way, but this is doing this, you know. Are you hearing that from men?
I have heard, honestly, about 2 men who have come up to me and say such. Especially at the police station, where I went there to have a conversation with the police about gender-based violence and domestic violence. And they too were appalled at the number. I can hear the excitement, I wouldn't, maybe not excitement, but hear the concern, the emotions in their voice. As I said, do you know that men are really affected by this thing? And sometimes they don't want to go to the police or seek help because, again, of that stigma that has been attached to men. That men must not speak up, that if I speak up, I'm given a certain name. Men, be empowered. Be empowered. Because again, it affects us all. And if men are affected, women are affected, the children will be affected. And who are we raising? A generation of children, a generation that is broken, a generation that is not whole. So therefore, let's create a whole generation. For too long, we have been broken, torn down. Let us create some sort of wholesomeness.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right, Ron, I want to thank you for sticking to that platform. I know it's going to go ways. I've seen what the results there from self-defense. And I learned something.
Yes. We had a great time.
Yes. And I know it's going to go very far with this platform. I want to thank you for your boldness. I thank you for standing up for women, girls, boys, and men.
Yes.
And I know that you're going to go far with this, and a lot of people are going to be blessed, and lives are going to be touched. Thank you again, and thanks to the Win BVI platform that is,
Definitely.
you know, behind this, and all those who thought it necessary to come on board and sponsor along and see. So look out, listen out, and there's a whole lot more coming with Rhonda on her platform of domestic violence, gender-based violence. I want to thank you so much, Rhonda, for your time, and thank you for your time for this edition of The Big Story. I'm Kathy Richards.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Are you searching for new home decor items that reflect the season's latest trends? Look no further than Right Way Home. From cushion sets to decorative vases, we have unique pieces to suit every style and budget. Discover your right find at the right price, only at Right Way Home and Right Way Stores.